I've said in the past that I was going to do a video on e-begging, and I've tried. I've done voiceover after voiceover and not been happy with it. I've put it on the shelf. I've come back to it. Put it on the shelf, come back to it. The best voiceovers I've done, and best meaning probably with the most accurate explanation, have been 22 minutes long, right in that range, and that's just way too long. I've changed my mind a little bit about what I consider e-begging. My definition is probably different than a lot of other people's definition, and I think that's because from the time that I started considering what e-begging was to now, I've seen a lot more of what it's like to be a YouTuber. I've seen a lot more about the business side, the industry side of this, because it can be a business. It can be supplementary income or a full-time job if you're that fortunate enough. So I believe that my opinions today are more objective than they were in the past. I think there's some people out there with some opinions like mine, but they don't do this. So I don't believe their opinion is as well thought out. I'm not saying they don't have a right to it, but I don't think it's as well thought out because they haven't walked a mile in some people's shoes. I have. And I think it's important that I say that I understand we're a capitalist society, and I agree with that. I like us being a capitalist society, and that I don't think that there's anything wrong with making any form of compensation off of YouTube. For some people, it's just all the free crap they get. For some people, it's just a little bit of extra beer money. And for some people, it's a full-time dream job. I'm not jealous of anybody else. I don't think anything you're doing is illegal. And I don't think it's wrong. But there are some ways that people go about being compensated on YouTube that I disagree with. In some cases, strongly. Now, just because I disagree with it doesn't mean I can't be your friend. Because I have friends that do some of the things that I disagree with. It's their channel. They can run it their way. It's not up to me to run their channel. And there are some of you out there that are compensated for this in whatever way, in whatever amount, that I think do it very well. And you set an example for other people on YouTube to follow that I think you get the best of both worlds. You don't come off like a jerk. You don't come off like an e-beg. You're not e-begging. You stick within a certain amount of ethics. You're a capitalist. And most importantly for any of it, you're discreet. You're discreet. You're not so in your face. You're not pushing your brand, pushing your channel. And there's a lack of transparency there. I recently heard a video where a big channel was complaining about people complaining about how the channel made money. And I think the guy really doesn't understand that the way he talks about how the channel brings in money lacks transparency. And that's the basis of the complaints, in my opinion. That's the basis of the complaints against his channel, which he was taking his complaints against him. But at the end of the day, it really isn't supporting his channel. It's supporting him. Sure, the money goes back into paying for the operational cost of the channel, the ammunition, the travel, the cameras, whatever. But it's also income for this channel. They're that big that they actually have a staff. So it's income for more than just him. It's income for other people. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody. There are a lot of people on YouTube who would love to build up their channel to the point where they could do this for a living and hire people to help them and run it in a professional or semi-professional way. There are lots of people who would love to do that. And there are lots of people that come onto YouTube thinking that they're going to get big overnight and get rich quick. And when they don't, they drop out. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's channels in the past when YouTube was a lot easier to make money on, a lot easier just to be on, because they'll strike your channel and take your videos down, let alone demonetize you, right? In the past, that was a lot easier to do, and a lot more people were making a lot more money. And as they started making changes at YouTube, you started to see channels disappear because they it wasn't worth the effort to them anymore. They weren't making the, I'll say it, easy money. The thing is, this is as easy or as hard as you want it to be. This can cost as little or as much as you want it to. There's some people out there that think if they just throw money at their channel, they'll get successful quick and they'll get a return on their investment. And that's not always true. Some people are lucky and they get discovered and they explode overnight. And other people work their butt off for years and years and years and maybe get nowhere. And you've got to do certain kinds of videos and you've got to be a certain kind of personality in order to get the views. You know, and I mean, and in that, there's all kinds of different facets. And it's, I guess the real issue is coming off a certain way when you're pushing your channel, pushing your brand. It's the creating drama to create views kind of thing. It's the backstabbing that goes on behind the scenes. I'm not talking about bashing another channel. I'm okay with that. I don't bash me. I don't care. But when one channel says, I'm going to bash another channel that's bigger and more successful than me that I'm jealous of, but don't dare bash me, I mean, that's not right in my book. And I'm not jealous of other channels. I've chosen the path I'm on. I know I could make the kinds of videos that would build my analytics and possibly create a potential for me to make money off of this. I've chosen not to do that, not because I think I'm better than these other channels. That's the direction I want to go with this. If somebody else wants to go in another direction and do what everybody else is doing to try to have what everybody else has, that's your choice. It's your channel. But I am the kind of person that will be critical of things that I don't agree with. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to control your life. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to take away your subscribers and your views. I mean, what can my little channel do to your big channel, right? But there are other people out there that believe the same thing, and maybe it's for different reasons. Maybe they don't feel as strong about it. Maybe they feel stronger. It doesn't matter. There are other people out there that don't like the way some people go about doing this stuff. They don't like the lack of transparency. They don't like the deception. And I think it's okay if we voice our opinions. I also think it's okay for these channels to defend themselves. But the best way to defend yourself wouldn't be to have an angry rant about criticism. It wouldn't be to keep using the same catchphrases over and over again. It might be to take a look at yourself and say, is there a way I can do this without coming off as an e-bagger? Is there a way I can be more transparent with my audience? To this date, I have never heard a YouTube channel, a person on YouTube, not use the word channel and say, not only does the money that comes in through whatever way, because there's so many different ways somebody can make money off of this, and I recommend diversifying. But I've never heard anybody say, in all the ways that money comes into the channel, a certain amount of that money pays my part-time income, pays my full-time income. Some people have said they do this full-time. But and for the people who have sponsors, which I think is probably one of the best ways to ethically earn money doing this and not come off like an e-bagger or not have people criticize you or whatever it is, even then, because they'll call you a shill. And some people do shill. I've admitted, I have a price. I will sell out for a certain dollar amount, but nobody's ever going to pay me that dollar amount. Other people will sell out for $10 or a free sticker. Say, hey, dude, whatever. We all have our different levels. If somebody says, I'd never sell out, bull. I'd love to be paid by the NRA. I'd do it. But I'm telling you what, the kind of money I'd want, I'd lose a lot of friends, but whatever. I know that's not going to happen, and I'm fine with it. But no matter what you do, somebody out there will be critical. It's important to take a look at some of the criticism and say, this person is ignorant, they have no idea what it's like, I'm going to discount it. And then look at some of the other criticism and look at yourself and say, maybe I have forgotten what it's like just to be a viewer. Or maybe I am shilling. Or maybe I am e-begging. Or maybe there is a way I can do this and still be compensated and not come off like such a jerk. So the real issue with e-begging isn't that you make money. It's how you go about pushing it. And the real issue, some of the criticism that's out there is with any channel of any size, is your lack of transparency. I'm not telling you you need to divulge your income. I'm not telling you you need to divulge what percentage of the money coming into the channel is your income. And I'm not even saying that you have to declare that you make income off of this. But when you start asking your audience to pay your bills for you, because that's what you're really doing. This is my dream, but I want you to pay for it. That's kind of shallow, I think. And if you do that, that's your choice. Just because I have an opinion on it doesn't mean that you need to change. It doesn't mean I can't be your friend. It doesn't mean I won't come on your show or add the link to your video at the end of my video. It's just my opinion on it. And it's a lot of people's opinion on it. So I guess it's a matter of what you consider ethical, what you're willing to do, and really what you think of the business model of your channel. And there's nothing wrong with changing things over time, going one way or the other. I just see some people out there that really do a good job with it, and some of them even are supported by their viewers, but they do a better job than others. And I see some people that don't ask for any support from their viewers other than to watch their videos and do all the normal things that help build analytics and get that channel out there. And I've heard some people who do ask for support say, if you can't support, then just go ahead and, watch my videos, click the like button, give a comment, share my video. And I think that's great when they put that message out there, because that says they'll do this even if they aren't making any money. And for those of you who complain about how little you make, or getting demonetized, or you got dropped by this sponsor, whatever it is, I want you to think about this. How many small channels out there wish they could be you? And you're taking for granted the fact that other people, whether they're jealous of you or they're striving to be like you, look at your complaints as really shallow because they wish they had a sponsor they could lose. They wish they could be demonetized because they're not. They're not making any money and they want to. Whether it is just to offset the cost of making these videos, or whether it is to do this as a full-time job, maybe it's a retirement plan, whatever it is. It's great that we live in a capitalist society where you can do this. You can be a nobody that Hollywood wouldn't give you the time of day, but you can be successful and become a star on YouTube. Lots of people have used YouTube as a backdoor avenue to show that they are just as talented as anybody out there in the mainstream media. And I think this is a really good opportunity for somebody to stop and think about some of the things that they say and what other people think of them and what e-begging really is and how transparent, how difficult for some people it is just to be transparent with their audience. That's the best way I can say this. Hopefully I explain myself well. Thanks for listening.